Hang on. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first in-person segment of the Speedruns Rochester Marathon. I apologize for the setup delays that, in a sense, have actually managed to make up for our setup anti-delays because we're doing so well that we're ahead of schedule. Anyways, without further ado, Joester98 is in my dining room, and he's going to play Pac-Man. Just give me a countdown.
All right, so we're doing 100% since we're so far ahead of schedule. I know the schedule says any percent, but we're going to do 100 instead. Which is actually better because I could actually get world record in this category, whereas any percent, there's literally no chance. And I'll explain Japanese version and everything in a minute. So if you're ready, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so because this is Japanese, X and circle are switched on menus, which is really confusing for new people. All right. So every mistake I make in this run, I'm going to blame on the fact that I'm playing on a CRT, because I don't normally do that at home. So every mistake is because of the CRT and not because I'm bad at the game. So anyway, I'm moving back and forth as fast as I can, and that's something called zigzagging. So you go faster in diagonal directions. So you alternate the diagonals to get the boost to get that speed boost, but you still travel in a straight line if you alternate them back and forth. And so the faster you do that, the faster you go. So lets me like jump over gaps like that I'm not normally supposed to. And I want to do that pretty much as possible everywhere throughout the game. And again, the faster I do it, the more time I save. And it's what makes running this game like pretty fun, but also quite challenging because the skill cap is essentially infinite because it is physically impossible to have perfect zigzag for a number of reasons, including A, your hand can't move that fast, and B, the controller would break even if it could. So you just have to go as fast as you can. Alright, so now that we're actually in a level that has stuff, I'm going to actually collect it since this is 100%. So every level, well, besides the first one, because it's just like kind of an intro tutorial level, it has 6 letters that spell out Pac-Man, and they each have a maze. There's one level that has 2 mazes, which is an exception. And so to get 100%, I have to collect all of those letters, and I have to beat every maze. And then I also, as a kind of, I guess, side requirement, I have to save all of my friends that have been kidnapped, which is the plot of the game, because I have to do that just to be able to beat the game in the first place. If I don't do that, the final boss door just doesn't open, and even if you get behind the final boss door, his loading zone isn't there, so there's literally no chance to get to him early. Alright, so I'm coming up on our first actually out of bounds. It's actually hilariously easy to do, and I'm surprised it's possible, but it lets you skip behind this Galaxian door. If I just bounce up here and then I fall down, I'll fall down behind this Galaxian door, and then I can just swim into the maze trigger wherever I am. Where am I? There we go. Alright, so this is the first maze. You can play with multiple camera angles. I like to play with the zoomed out mode because it's way easier to see where all the ghosts are and where you're going. So again, every level has one of these, and I have to do them in order to get 100%. One scary thing about the Japanese version is that if you die in a maze, the game forces you out of it, and you cannot complete it. So you have to actually re-enter the level to do the maze. But there are some aspects of the mazes in Japanese version that actually make them a lot easier. This is going to be way more relevant in the later mazes when they actually start putting hazards in the mazes. The first couple don't have any hazards, but the later ones do, and can be quite nasty if you are playing on other versions of the game. And unfortunately, this is the first maze is like by far the slowest. It's the only one that's underwater, and it takes forever to actually do it because you swim not super fast. Zigzagging doesn't work in mazes, unfortunately. I have tried it many times, and the game does not allow it. Otherwise, the mazes would be completely busted. Alright, so that's maze 1 there. Okay. So now I have to bounce off this bird here to be able to get up to where the Galaxian actually is, as well as but there's a letter up here. That's the more important item. So just get up here, get that, and then get out of here. So a number of things were changed in the Japanese version. This barrel is the first one. On the US version, you have one shot to get that letter. It's a barrel that breaks. You can actually still get up there even if you break the barrel, but casually you don't know how to do that, so you just like get mad that you got all the way through the level and then missed that because you only had one shot at it. Okay. I was trying to grab the ledge there, but the game disagreed. Something that you'll find in this game is the ledge grab is bad. And by bad, I mean it's completely terrible. Alright. So that's the first actual level. So now, since we got all the letters, we're going to go to a bonus round. Now, if I was actually going for, like, record, I would just exit here. But that's really risky, so I'm just going to Death Abuse instead. It's a little slower, but it makes it actually way more likely that I'll complete this run. Okay. And the reason I don't want to exit out of the bonus round, I'll actually explain after the next level, because it activates a glitch that is useful in this run a lot, but I don't want it for the most part because it makes the run like extremely hard to complete. Okay, so first we're going to skip back here. And this skip actually makes the routing in this level work out really nicely because you can kind of keep fruit. You can be like, you're essentially one fruit ahead, so I can use this banana on a later banana door instead of having to backtrack after getting the intended banana. And we're going to do a cool mid-air dot throw here to break that box. So that's like your other attack in this game, is you have the roll, which isn't great, but it's still pretty useful in some places, and then you have the dot throw, which is actually extremely useful because it's much faster than bouncing on boxes to just do that. So coming up, we have another Galaxian skip, and this one's actually hilariously easy. All you have to do is walk into the front corner of this room and you fall through the floor. You can just fall right behind the door. I don't know how someone missed that in testing, but in any event, it saves a bunch of time, and it's really, really easy. So this is another maze, though. This is, I think, the only maze that was... The layout was actually changed in the Japanese version. So the US version, they stuck a bunch of barrels in the middle of the maze and actually created a ton of dead ends, which is extremely bad design. But on this version, they actually pulled the barrels out. So this maze is exactly the same as the one that I just did underwater, except it's not underwater, and therefore way less boring. So again, I'm just using basically the exact same layout with route with a couple modifications based on different ghost patterns. So the ghosts will actually do, if you do the exact same thing, their movement is based on yours. So if you move in exactly the same way, so will they. Except since the mazes aren't, your movement isn't strictly tile based, so you can turn around in the middle of a tile as opposed to being forced to move to the next one. Their movement, even if you do what appears to be the same thing, if you turn around a little earlier on a tile, their movement might change. So it makes some routing, you have to be a little more careful. And so that banana I got earlier, I can just use that to open this door. And go for that psycho, which I don't even go for in attempts, but I was way ahead of it somehow there, so I went for it. Okay, and then the end is right here. And then I'm going to get this extra life. I'm going to get a lot of extra lives in this run, either because I detour to grab them or because I get enough points when I beat levels. It's quite easy to die in this game, and in this run in particular. And if you game over, it's all over, so I don't want that to happen. There's also a bridge here at the on the Japanese version. That's just like the point of the boat. On the other version, on the US version, it's actually extremely hard to do that part without dying because the camera is terrible. Okay. So now this bonus round I'm actually going to exit out of. And that activates a glitch that we call level skip. So the game still thinks I'm in a bonus round, And so if I do something that ends a bonus round in another level, it thinks I've beaten that level's bonus round. So even though this level doesn't even have one, if I just run off the edge and dying normally ends a bonus round, it thinks, oh, you died in this level's bonus round, so you're done. And so I just skip the boss completely. And so I'm actually going to use that on every boss in the game except the last one, because you're not allowed to do that. Although you do get 100%, it doesn't actually, the game isn't actually considered beaten, so it's not allowed for runs. Also, it'd make the run extremely boring, because you would just enter the final boss, die, and then the game would be over. It's very anticlimactic. Alright, so now we're in the second area of the game, the ruins area. So I'm going to start off by going over here to get this letter, and then I'm going to try and get back. Okay. The bounce back is actually quite challenging, because of the trying to get on a little bit of the scenery is a little annoying. And then we got another skip here. So this back wall, if you bounce up it, it pushes you higher. And it pushes you just high enough to grab the ledge and get up here. And that saves a bunch of time. Alright. There's a lot of these like narrow, like 1 block wide sections in this game, and they're probably the hardest, some of the harder areas movement-wise, because you're wanting to zigzag, but it's actually quite difficult to continue going in a straight line. So you have to be very careful. Now this letter is kind of fiendishly hidden in the dark there. Alright, let's see. The cherry. I need this cherry to open a door later. It's actually possible to skip the door that I use the cherry to open, but it's not faster. So a lot of the doors in this game, as I've kind of already demonstrated, are skippable because I've already skipped like 3. But a number of other ones are skippable, but it's just not worth it to skip them because it's either really hard or not faster because the fruit is on your way or something. Alright, so here's another skip. I'm gonna line myself up here. I don't know why I'm being this careful. Grab the ledge and hold right, and I just fall into this out-of-bounds water here. And that skips, like, the actual puzzle in that room, which is opening the floor to actually get down here. Now I'm going to try a damage boost to get behind this door. I have, obviously, a bunch of tries at it, but hopefully it doesn't take very many. Okay, that was a really bad attempt. That was just as bad. That was terrible. Alright, now I have to death these. So I want this thing to send me flying onto the ceiling over to my left. Because then I can just jump behind the door. Come on. Oh my goodness, this is really bad. I may just go get it at this rate. If I don't get it in these 3 wedges, I'm just going to go get it. Because I really don't want to lose all these lives this early. There we go. Okay, so I get on the ceiling here and then just jump behind the door. That's more like it. Okay. So this maze is actually, the route works out really nicely so that the falling debris doesn't hit you if you do this movement at the start, although it's really close.
Let me know when I've got some time for a donation.
Yeah, anytime I'm in a maze is good.
Oh, cool. Well, we have $2 from Dragolina, $2 more for the awesome runners, and especially the people in the background who keep this marathon going. Can I get a waka 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 for the runner?
Waka 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 waka. I won't do that many wakas, but I'll give you a few.
The deep, dark hosting secret is that I didn't actually read the exact amount. I just kind of guessed, but there were a lot of them for sure.
Okay, all right.
Speaking of Waka, reminder about the Pac-Man World Outtakes incentive for the end of this run. We need $48 to get there. So in the next $48 in the next like hour or so, I think we can do that.
They're even better in Japanese, if you can believe it. If you've seen them in English, they're even better in Japanese, especially the very last one. Okay, I really shouldn't have gone for that jump with no lives. Alright, so actually, because I'm really short on lives, I'm gonna intentionally get a bunch of points at the end of this level so that I can get some extra lives from the bonus round. I'm actually going to do the bonus round to get a bunch of lives. Because I died twice in that level unexpectedly. So I'm going to do this bonus round. Every 10,000 points you beat a level with, you get an extra life. Now, normally you don't want to do that because it takes a bunch of time. You lose time by getting all the points, but because I've died a bunch, I want to try and get, I don't think I'm going to get 20,000 here, but I'll at least get, that's fine. Because normally I would die in this bonus round anyways, so the getting everything was faster once I had already started. Okay. Neat. So now we get to play probably the second hardest level in this run. Because there's a lot of skips in this one, and it's quite long, and it has 2 mazes, so there's a lot going on here. So this first door is one we're going to skip. We're just going to go through the background and land behind it. We're going to try to. Come on, this is not that hard. Oh my goodness. There we go. And get back there. And the apple is right there, but because that skip just involves like jumping just past the door, it's worth it to get it. Now, it probably wasn't worth it since I took like 800 tries to get it, but it's still fast. Okay, I'm just gonna get this melon. So a lot of the doors in this game, like, even if it's possible they're skippable, like that door, for example, I don't really look for a skip since it's so fast. Anyways, any skip is probably going to take way longer to set up or do, or is less consistent than just going forward in the level 3 seconds and getting the fruit you're supposed to get. This is another example. This is the oranges right here, so just go right in here. Okay, where is this minecart? Minecarts are also smaller on the Japanese version, like way smaller, like half the size. Apparently it was too difficult. Okay, so here's another maze. This one, for no reason, the lava sound effect is extremely loud, and I have never figured out why that is, but it's quite annoying, but thankfully this maze is not very long. But the lava gurgling is just like, super obnoxious here. This maze is actually probably a good time to mention another change to the Japanese version, and that is how power pellets actually work. So normally, as we all know, power pellets actually just make you invincible to ghosts and you can eat them, but on the Japanese version, power pellets make you invincible to everything, including stage hazards. So if I have a power pellet active, I can just run right through these fireballs and they don't do anything, which is pretty good. That also applies to the main level as well. Like if I just have a power pellet and I'm running around in the level, nothing hurts me, which is hilarious. So that maze was good. Alright, so if I go really fast here, I can beat this minecart. And this is the box of horrors. That's why it's the box of horrors. So you have to like aim to grab this ledge. It's really, really stupid. I'm actually just going to go around. You have to be really careful with that box too, because if you break it and don't get the fruit inside and die, the fruit will despawn, and then you're just royally screwed because you can't actually get in the door that's at the top of this section without it, and there isn't another one in the level. I don't know why I'm avoiding taking damage if I'm going to enter another maze, and it's not going to matter. Okay, good. Sometimes the game lags over that second pit and just eats all your zigzag inputs. It's really annoying. There's a number of places where that can happen. Alright, so this is the first skip that I don't go for, because it's really dumb. So you can actually skip behind this Galaxian door, and it involves swimming into a seam in the water near the top, and you swim out of bounds, and then you have to do a blind jump around the corner and stay out of bounds the whole time and land behind the door. And obviously if you screw it up, you die. And since the water doesn't extend very far back at all, out of bounds, it's actually extremely hard to get behind the door. So I don't go for it. It saves probably like 20 seconds if you get it. But I also get an extra life doing this way, which makes the run, you know, safer anyways, so. Okay. This is another maze that was actually changed. So you may see those like few spots on the maze with just like 3 circles on them where there aren't any dots, and those are supposed to be spears that pop up, but that when you get close to them, but on the Japanese version there are no spears, so I can just walk right over that. The spear doesn't even appear there, so I don't know why they didn't just like add dots there or something. Because like I mentioned in the earlier maze, when they removed the barrels, they put dots in the way, but here they just removed the spears and didn't. So I don't know what was going through their head on this one. Probably gonna get hit by this guy. That's fine. And as long as I don't die in the mazes, we're fine. I get full health entering every maze and leaving. So it makes dying in them pretty hard, even though some of the later ones are a little scary, and it also makes dying immediately after them also very hard because you just get filled up. You just get your health refilled immediately. Okay, so now this section of the level is quite difficult, so hopefully I don't horribly butcher it. Hopefully we only mildly butcher it. Okay, so first I want to try and get this bounce. Darn it. Okay, so now I'm going to have to Death Abuse in this section or skip it. Okay, I'm just going to... Oh, that was extremely lucky. We're just going to skip like a bunch of damage boosts so I don't have to die. Because I've already died a bunch. I'm going to get... There's an extra life in this area that I'm going to get and skip a damage boost to get. Oh, wow. That thing just totally baited me. I didn't even step on the platform and it crushed me. Okay, so now I have one shot at the boost at the top. Hopefully I get it. Based on my luck with the other boost that I failed like 6 times, I probably won't get it. Although this one I do think is a little easier, because you don't have to get quite as far. Okay, so we're gonna get this extra life. Okay, can I please get this skip first try? This would be super nice. Dang. Alright, I did not get it first try. So now I have to kill myself. Alright. Let's see. That was the right momentum, but I didn't get enough height. There we go. Okay, so I need to skip up here to get this key because it saves like well over a minute. Don't kill me. Okay. Why did it stop? The fire doesn't normally stop there. I don't know why it did. Alright, and here's the pack doggo. Bow wow. Pack Frankersy. Alright, okay, so this banana spawn is RNG. That was actually a really good spawn. You just have to guess what side it's going to be on. I always guess the right, because that's... If it's there, that's already the right direction. But I guess right there, so that was good. Get this, and then we're out of here. Alright, so this bonus I'm going to exit out of, because I don't want to fight the boss. So I would have gotten extra life if I had actually beaten the bonus round there, because I had over 10,000 points. But I don't want to exit that, because then I have to fight this boss, and this boss is really stupid. Alright, so there's another boss. And the camera is way zoomed out here. Like, and from the back. I have no idea why that is. The game makes no sense. Alright. All right. Okay, so this is the first space level, and this is the best world in the game. And I'll fight anyone who disagrees, because it's definitely the best. So this level you actually play in any percent, so I probably won't be that bad at this level, because I played a lot. The maze in this level actually has a really cool strat that saves 0 time, but it looks cool, so I hope I get it, but it's extremely precise, and I won't get it, so we'll see what happens. But I want to skip back over here, get this, and now we'll go do the maze over here. Okay. Let's see. So if I do this maze correctly, I won't take any damage, but I will take damage because I will screw it up. Okay, that might have actually been it. Darn. Alright, so I probably turned around like a frame too early or something. So that laser wouldn't have hit me if I had done this perfectly, but again, it doesn't matter because nothing else in this maze is going to hurt me because it's not a hard maze. Alright, this is another level where getting 10,000 points is actually extremely easy, and I'll probably make sure I get it because I've already died a bunch of times. Okay, I don't need that cherry, I don't know why I would get it. Okay, I'm gonna hit this checkpoint because I'm scared, although dying here is really hard. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna use this wall to get behind this door because that's way faster. And then I'm gonna use it again to get over this gate. My positioning was not right there. I think I'm too far to the right. Okay, that was really good recovery. Oh, this is not good. Okay, I do not want to take 2 hits there, but that's fine. Alright, 8,300. Alright, I'm going to detour in the bonus just to get 10,000 for the extra life, because it will be worth it. This will be really quick, because I just need like 2,000 points or something, so this is really fast. Yeah, just do that. That should do it. There we go. So that gives me an extra life. And then we continue. Alright, so now we're into Far Out. Another good level. This level actually has, I think this level has 5 extra lives in it. I'm not going to be getting one of them because it's like a complete trap, but I will be getting these first 2 because they're like right in the way. Okay, I'm going to get this one too. Okay, so now my life count is closer to what it actually should be, since I've died like 3 times unexpectedly. Okay, so now I'm going to skip behind this maze door. Easy every time. Alright, so this is a maze where the power pellet invincibility is huge, because this maze is complete garbage on every other version of the game. It's actually, I don't think I've ever actually completed it without dying, at least once, because these laser cycles are super obnoxious. Okay, it's also obnoxious when you press the wrong direction. But yeah, see, I'm just running right through these lasers and they don't do anything. And it's extremely nice because otherwise this route would not be possible. Okay. Alright, so that's that maze. As you can see, I don't think I got hurt in that maze because of the power pellet stuff. Alrighty. So you can skip this chain. It saves like 2 seconds, but it's really hard. Okay. So we're gonna get this. Okay. So I have to hit the switch to be able to hit the other switch, which gives me the key, which lets me save Professor Pac right there. There we go. Get that. I'm gonna bounce off the little railing here to get up here. You're supposed to use an elevator to go up and down here, but that's way too slow and extremely boring. So we're just gonna do that. It's way more fun. So here's Professor Pac. All right. I meant to shoot that with a dot. That's fine. So, backtrack. This door I've actually tried really hard to find a skip for, and I couldn't find it. Here's another letter that spawns when you break a box. There was one like that in the previous level as well. It was the M as well, but these are the only 2 levels where that's true. Where you break another box and then just the letter just spawns in midair. So I have to do that to get the A. Alright, I'm gonna get this life. And then I'm gonna get the one that's at the top of the section. And then I should be okay for just like detouring for lives for the rest of the game. Okay, get that one as well. Alright, how many points do I have? 4,800. Okay, yeah, I'm just not gonna... It's not worth it to try for the extra life here. We'll just beat the level and get the heck out. This Death Beast straight out of the bonus. Okay, so again, we Death the Beast out of the bonus because I don't want the glitch active. Although, here is a place where that level is a place where I've considered putting it into runs, because there is one skip in this level that's fairly easy to die on, but the rest of the level is pretty easy. Okay, so this level is a checkpoint right on top of where you spawn. I have no idea why. My best guess is that they cut a portion of the level out, or they meant for you to start somewhere else, but I have never actually confirmed this. All right. So this is another change. That platform off to the left there isn't on the other version, US version, so you have to bounce off the box to get up there, and you only have one shot at it. It is possible to get up there without the box, but it's incredibly hard. Okay. Also, there's a weird glitch here that happens in the Japanese version. If you jump into that white light with the camera locked, it will send you back to the start of the level, and I have never figured out why that happens. It's not a death, it just warps you backwards. It makes no sense whatsoever, but then again, this game doesn't make sense anyways, so it's totally understandable. Right, here's the skip where it's really easy to die on. Okay. So you have to grab some, like, non-existent garbage ledge in the floor, and then you can bounce behind the door. And it saves a bunch of time, because the bell is right here. It's that box, so it saves a bunch of time for that skip. And the last letter is here. I think this is the only level where you actually get all of the letters before you even enter the maze, because the maze is stuck right at the end. It's right here. And then I'm going to do a skip that everyone should do if they're casually playing the game, because depth perception in this game is terrible. So I'm going to jump up there and grab that platform and skip arguably the worst platforming in the game. You have to jump on these like floating spheres that bob up and down. You cannot tell where they are in relation to the background, and so you just repeatedly die and get angry. I really wanted that dot. This is a maze where I never figured out like a great route. Actually, the route I'm doing right now, just completely improvised on the spot because I don't normally do what I just did, although it might actually end up being pretty fast. We'll see. Actually, this route is going to be pretty good. Yeah, this is good. Get those and then go back up here and get this. And then I can just clear out the rest of this middle section and we're out of here. Easy peasy. I think I only get one ghost in that route too, which is actually really good. You want to route the mazes so you don't need ghosts because that's slow. Some of them you really can't avoid it because the route is so obvious that they just get in your way and there's nothing you can do about it. Alright, so really good movement there and you can just get right to the end. And again, this is a level I want to exit the bonus because I don't want to fight this boss. Because although it is a fun auto-scroller, it actually is a fun auto-scroller because it's like Galaga based. It's really slow. It's like 4 minutes long total, including the boss fight. So we're just going to die out of here because fighting bosses is for nerds. And again, for 100%, I only need to beat the boss level. So by just using the glitch, that counts as defeating the boss because there is nothing actually in the boss levels you need to collect in order to beat them. Alright, so now we get to the fun house, which is anything but fun because these are the hardest platforming levels in the game. There's just a lot of just moving, rotating platforms that are extremely easy to die on, and pits everywhere, and just a mess. This level isn't too bad, but the next two are quite difficult. Okay, and again, I'm going to use zigzag to clear that gap. Okay. And again, to get over here, before actually like rotating that platform like you're supposed to. A little bit of solid scenery there. Darn, you can get up there without getting a ledge grab, but it's really janky. I've never figured out how you actually consistently can do that. Okay, this is another level where I'll probably end up with 10,000 points just because it's very close on this level. Like, you end between like 9,500 and 10,500 every time. Because you have to get a bunch of fruit. Including the Galaxian. The Galaxian alone is 2,000 points. And in levels with like bells, the bells are 3,000. And so if you have... there's a level later in the game where I actually have to get 2 bells, and so I'm basically guaranteed to get 10,000 points in that level. Jump. Okay, jump right to these stairs. There's an invisible floor here. I don't know why. It's only there if the stairs are there. If you actually lower the stairs, that invisible thing is gone. So it's some remnant of the stairs, I guess. Alright. Another maze. This is one where, like I mentioned, you end up eating a lot of ghosts just because the dot route makes it so. Because the dot route here is actually pretty obvious, because this maze is basically symmetric. Most of the mazes in this game aren't symmetric, but the ones that are... this is not good. Actually, that might have saved me the 10,000 points, because now I'll only get 200 and 400 from these ghosts as opposed to 800 and 1,600. Yeah, I already have the melon. Yeah, I don't think I'll get 10,000 here, and I have enough lives to the point where I don't really need to worry about them anymore. Okay. Yeah, I definitely won't get 10,000 because I'm only going to get like 200 more points in this level. Well, I guess I'll get those 200, but I'm only going to get 200 from the last letter, and that's it. Unless the dots... You get 5 points for every dot you finish the level with. So unless I finished with too many, which I won't, I shouldn't get 10,000 here. That might actually be a strat, just like sandbag in the maze for like 1 second to save 2 seconds later. I'll have to look into that. Okay. Into the bonus round, and we die because, again, any bonus round I exit out of, I have to either skip the next level by dying in it or beat it without dying. Neither of those are very likely in the next level. Yeah, so my score there was like almost 9,800 with the missed ghosts. So it would have definitely been 10,000 if I had eaten those two. All right, so there's a skip at the start of this level that I'm going to fail, but I'm going to try it anyways because it saves a bunch of time. So I want to get behind this door. Even though the fruit is right there in this box, I want to get behind this door anyways because there's another door like that later in the level. Okay, I got this good. So that's riskier without hitting the checkpoint at the top here because obviously then you have to go back to the start of the level, but the cycles for those platforms line up way better if you don't get the checkpoint. So overall it's just better to go for it without hitting the checkpoint. I think I might make this cycle here. Yeah. Good. Get this banana for later. Again, I'm not going to use this on this banana door, but I'm going to use it on the door that actually has the end, so like way at the end of the level. Oh, that was really stupid. I shouldn't have tried that. Note to anyone trying to play this game at home, you cannot bounce on things that are completely vertical. Okay. So we're going to get this. And then I'm going to get this letter while I wait for this platform, because I have to sit here anyway, so I might as well do something. So if I get the box early, I'm still waiting anyway, so I might as well just get it while I'm waiting. And then we're just going to clip through the floor there. Get this letter, and then go across. So this top steam vent is like impossible to beat. And if I was running another category, I'd be way more concerned about my health. But since I'm about to enter a maze, my health is going to get refilled anyway, so it doesn't matter. So this is another maze door that's skippable, but it's really not worth it because you have to come up to like right where this box is anyways. So just get it and fall down. You may notice I left the switch intact. Now, you're supposed to actually hit the switch to progress, and normally, to skip that, you actually bounce off the box with the galaxine in it to get up to the next area. Obviously, I can't do that anymore because the box with the galaxine is gone, but you can actually use the switch itself, and you can grab the ledge above you in the cutscene that plays and skip up there. And it's quite cool. So again, you hear another maze. This maze's little gimmick is kind of these push blocks that block your path a little bit, but they move if you just run into them. There's a lot of creepy smiles on this maze that are probably giving people nightmares. Okay, that was actually a pretty good maze. I did that perfectly. No damage, didn't eat a ghost. Is the best you can ask for. Although sometimes damage is faster. It just depends on the situation. Yeah, so I'm going to use this switch here to get up here. I'm going to bounce and hold left, and I grab the ledge during the cutscene, and it gets me up here. Wow, I've actually never done those platforms like that before, and that was actually perfect, so I should maybe look into that. Okay, full HP. I won't take this boost. That probably would have gotten me. But I'll take the next one, because then I'm going to go for a really tricky 3D jump here, where there's a rotating platform here. I bounce on the inside of it, and then I bounce around to the outside and get on top of it. Darn it, I messed it up. All right, I'm going to try it on the other side, just for the heck of it. It's way harder over here. Okay, darn it. I want to get this, so I'm just going to wait around for it. This is a cool strat. Darn it. Okay, I have another shot. If I don't get it here, I'll just say screw it. There we go. So, that would have saved like 15 seconds if I actually got it on the first try, but it was probably slower since I had to wait like 4 extra cycles for it. So I get the checkpoint there because this section is really annoying to platform, and so it's way nicer to just tank damage across it and death abuse back. Although I think optimally it's not faster, it's just 1,000 times easier. And you don't have to be like careful at all on the way back or the way there, so you just, in general, save time. Alright, so I'm going to try and one-cycle these platforms, which means just like I'm going to go across them without stopping, and I'm going to get it because it's way easier on the Japanese version of the game. So you have like an extra 2 or 3 seconds of leeway for this last cycle. On the Japanese version because it moves slower. On the US version, if you like stop at all, you basically can't make it unless you're insane. Alright, another bonus. And this one I absolutely want to die out of because the next level actually has death abuse in it, so that would screw me if I had to do the next level without dying. Alright, that level actually went, well, except for the stupid 3D jump, the rest of the level was fine. Alright, Spin Dizzy. This level is really annoying if you aren't zigzagging, just because there's so many rotating platforms and the physics are complete trash to deal with. I'm gonna get this lemon for later, because it's gonna help me. Dropped input. So I get this checkpoint, and just bounce around that. Because I'm gonna get this cherry. Now, I can backtrack from here, but it's actually quite difficult to go the other way. It's actually probably just as hard, but it just feels more awkward, so I just die and go back and don't even waste my time. Okay, let me just go around this again. And this level perfectly captures the theme of like super lighthearted, happy music, but also trying to kill you everywhere. Because this is like the whole level is like platforms like this, and there's no checkpoints like anywhere. Like you may have noticed, like I haven't hit a checkpoint in like a good like 30 seconds or something. So if I like died there, I would have to go all the way back to where that cherry door was and do that whole section again. Because of extremely good level design. Okay, here's another Galaxian door I'm going to skip. This one, it looks easy. It's actually like fairly tricky, and I'm surprised that they didn't find this because you can just jump around it. But since the roof there is really low, it's easy to just bonk your head on it and you fall down and die. But you can just skip it. This skip actually saves a lot of time. It saves probably at least 30 seconds to do it. I really wanted that dot. Whatever, I guess I'm not getting it. This is a maze where I'll probably take damage unless the ghost does something incredibly stupid, which is always possible because their AI is jank. Okay, I guess I'm not going to take damage. That was weird. Probably because I failed to get that dot. I got a ghost pattern that no one has ever seen before, including me. Okay, what's this guy can do? Also, yeah, the ghosts can cheat. They can go over the walls even when they're closed. I don't know why they can, but they just flow right over them. There's no obstacle to them. Alright. This maze was actually still pretty good. Alright. Now we'll just continue here. So there's actually supposed to be another bumper car enemy in this area, but he's removed in this version. I don't know why. And so I'm gonna... You're actually supposed to come up to this area, but you're not supposed to, obviously, like, walk along the back wall and go out of bounds and skip it. But there's a bunch of hammers that you're supposed to activate there. And then here's another skip. So these are all supposed to be rotating. The goal is of this area is you make all these turn. And so just imagine every single one of these platforms rotating and then having to do all this platforming. So just by making them stand still, this is 1,000 times easier. This checkpoint is not on the US version. And all of these platforms in this room are smaller. So this area of the level is extremely annoying. Here's another skippable door because the side just doesn't exist. Jump here. Right, now these are always rotating. There's no way to skip these, but... Now, again, good checkpoint placement, right? So there's one there after like a minute of no checkpoint, and then there's another one right here after like 3 seconds of gameplay. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. Because it's not like you're gonna die in that section unless you just don't know how to use a controller. But in any event, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm gonna actually go out of bounds on this third set so that I can jump with the platforms as opposed to against them, and that makes this way easier. Kill that guy. Almost just got instant killed there. If you jump on like, there's that like inner square that's cut out of those. If you land on the bottom panel, the game will instantly kill you because it'll stun lock you and hit you on the first. You'll get hit and then get hit on the first frame that your iframes run out, and do that. That'll happen 4 times and you die. There's no way to get out. And there's little baby Pac. Okay. So again, I want to exit this bonus round because I don't want to do the next boss fight, which isn't really a boss fight. It's actually a race. But it's a stupid race, so we don't want to do it. It's actually possible, at least it's happened on the US version, it's actually possible the game can just randomly crash on this level for no reason. And I've never figured it out. It's only ever happened to me. So it might be just like a disc thing, but my game is just randomly frozen in this level multiple times. I think 3 times. So I die, and then boom, I win. Alright, so that's 4 out of the 6 worlds done. So now we go into the factory world. This first level, Perilous Pipes, has one of the more finicky skips to get behind the Galaxian door, but it saves a bunch of time, so I'm going to go for it. It might take like a few tries to get it. You'd like never get it first try just because of like the setup. Take this lemon, go down here. This P. This door here is peach door is actually skippable. You can get down where the area that it would take you, except the elevator that you're used to get up, it doesn't follow you, so you are soft locked and you have to exit the level. It's like it's possible to skip down here, but the thing won't follow you, which is a shame. The skip is actually quite hard, anyways, but it looks cool. So, all right, so here's the Galaxian door. I have to use some like non-existent pixel ledge to get up here. Okay, I was a little too far back. Still a little too far back. So I have to bounce on like the edge of this thing on my left, and it's very positionally precise. There we go, and then I bounce off this and then fall behind the door. There's actually a bunch of invisible garbage in the wall there that you can like get up there and then bounce into the wall, and then it'll just force you out if you don't go the correct way. Also, this is one of the best songs in the game. And you get to hear it in the whole next level because it's the soundtrack for the next level. I kind of need that. So again, you may have noticed I'm just running through steam because, again, the power pellets, like, I'm just going to get hit by this steam, but it's not going to do anything because I have a power pellet. And that actually works hilariously if you eat a ghost and it goes back to, like, the hub, and then you eat a power pellet, but it comes out and isn't affected and it's just a normal ghost, you'll just run right through it if you have a power pellet. It's really just confusing because you think you're going to get hit, and so you get ready to get hit, and then you just walk right through it, and you're just like, oh, all right. Okay. So shoutouts to totally not stealing ideas from Crash Bandicoot in this level with the red hot pipes that fire steam at you. Okay, so I have to hit this switch to actually spawn the next letter. It's right there. And it's possible to get on top of this thing, but I'm just going to jump to it. Okay, and then we're going to go for a little damage boost here. Skip a little platforming. It's a couple seconds faster. Then I'm going to get this metal suit, chrome ball thing to make this section easier. So I can just tank my way through here and not care. I'll get this extra life even though I don't think I'll need it. Okay, I have full health, so I'm not going to death abuse here. This is another door that is actually skippable, but the skip is not faster because you have to actually go, like, basically... You have to go much further forward in the level to get it, and it's also extremely easy to get stuck if you do it, so... It's not really worth it. Okay, well, the letters did the maze, so we're out of here. It was actually a decent level. So again, death abuse out of here, and we're good. So actually, I haven't mentioned why I'm playing the Japanese version, so I probably should. So all of the mazes in this game, if you beat all of them in like the quest mode, which is what I'm in, you unlock something called marathon mode. And so marathon mode is it's all the mazes in the game, including the ones that you don't actually play during the main story. There's 36 of them, and it counts for 5%. And you have to do them all in a row without game overing to get that 5%. Which is pretty easy if you have like 100 lives or something. But on the Japanese version, you can get 100% without doing that, so Japanese saves like 45 minutes. And also is like 1,000 times more interesting, so that's why we run on Japanese. Well, I say we meaning I, because no one else runs this game, or this category in particular. But Japanese is way more interesting for this run. I think the world record in this was a 208. And then I did one run on Japanese and got a 123 because of the 45-minute time save. Okay, so I have to actually just sit here and wait for all these dots to fall before I get this letter. There's 10 of them, and then the A pops out. I was like, I really wanted that health wedge, but then I realized I was at full health and I didn't need it. Okay, so you move correctly there like that. You can catch that platform as it's going up because you spawned it in at the correct time. Okay. Ooh, wow, I really should have died there. The game lagged and ate all my zigzag inputs, but I still made it. This maze door, again, is also skippable, but not worth it since the Galaxian was literally on my way. And this maze is really, really easy because it's symmetric, and the ghosts never get in your way if you follow this path, so it's really, really easy. Not much to say here. So I leave this strip of dots in the middle, and I just get those right at the very end. They're the last things I get. Here, and then we just run up the middle, and we're good. It's actually nice because the Steam cycles, even if you're not playing on the Japanese version, if you follow that route, the Steam will never hit you anyways. So you don't even have to worry about taking damage because it just won't hit you ever. Alright, so here's a section I'm bound to screw up, but is really cool if I actually do it right. Okay, so I grab the letter, and I ledge grab, and I'm gonna bounce around here, and go out of bounds, and swim out of bounds here, and just skip a bunch of swimming by falling instead. And then I'm gonna enter this little room here, and shoutouts to frame rate. The game just lags like hell if you enter here. I have no idea why. You're supposed to go here, and the game just disagrees and says, "Nah, you're not supposed to be here." It just runs at like 2 FPS for a few seconds there. Okay. So I'm still at full health, which is never happens here. Okay, so I'm gonna get this. And get back on this platform. Okay, 2 hits is fine, that doesn't matter. Bounce across these to skip the elevator. I think I can beat the second one. Darn it, I could not beat the second one. Okay, that's fine, there's a checkpoint here. This part of platforming is extremely annoying because, again, all these platforms are small and the camera doesn't go as fast as you do here, so you have to be really careful or you just die. And then shoutouts to collision because this wall doesn't exist. Get the extra life. And I pause here so I can get that extra health wedge without dying. And then this bell is hidden way down here. And I need that to get the last letter. Hello. Get up there. I was like, I know this is possible. Okay, and then the end is over here. And then we just beat the level. Okay. Kill that guy for the fun of it. Okay. So now we get to play definitely the hardest and definitely the scariest level in this run. It's like any mistake is after like the first half of the level is extremely costly, like multiple minutes, plus have to do a super inconsistent skip costly. So hopefully I just do everything correctly and we don't have to worry about that. This level is pretty notorious in other categories for having a really dumb trick that doesn't work. And because of a trick I found in this level a while ago, I could find a route for this level that managed to skip having to do that dumb trick. But if I screw that route up, I have to do the trick. So first I'm going to skip behind this door because I'm going to use the cherry that I'm supposed to open it with way later in the level. And that will save me a bunch of time. I think the cherry is like right over here. It's right here. And this Galaxian door is technically skippable, and by technically skippable I mean I've seen one person do it on emulator, and I don't have the video of it, and I've never replicated it, so take that what you wish. You can actually, the way the skip works is, or it's supposed to work, is you can actually touch the trigger for the maze through the door, because the trigger is like way closer to the door than all the other ones, and so you can just touch it through the door, but I could never figure it out, and I spent a ton of hours on it, and it just doesn't work. Alright, this is actually one of the harder mazes to actually have a route for, because if you kind of look at the layout, it's actually extremely hard to get anywhere fast, because there's very few paths that like cut through the middle. And so getting to the corners is a very roundabout process. So the routing this was actually quite challenging, but the route I came up with ended up being quite good. So get this turn around. I'll probably get hit by something, but it really doesn't matter. Okay, this ghost is an idiot, so he didn't hit me. Sometimes the ghosts will just like, they'll go one tile forward and then turn around again, and they'll just do that like 3 or 4 times and just not be in your way at all. Okay. Where's this side? I'm just gonna wait for that because I'm scared. Okay. Alright, so this letter, you can just do that. You're not supposed to do that. That's easier on this version because the letters are actually bigger. On the Japanese version, their hitboxes are much larger, so it is way less scary. Alright, now we do the fun part of this level. And by fun, I mean totally not completely terrifying. So hopefully I don't horribly butcher this, because it will look really good if I get it, and it will look hilariously bad if I don't. Okay, so we're going to take this down here. That's not that good. I'm going to get this letter, and then this is the trick I found here, is you can actually clip out of bounds here. And this lets you go around a checkpoint by swimming out of bounds here. Okay. I want to skip this checkpoint too, because I want to die at the very bottom of this section and go all the way back up to the top area, so I don't have to do all the swimming. Which is why dying here is bad, because then you have to swim all the way down, and it's extremely obnoxious. Okay. So here's this is the scary part here. This is the part I really do not want to screw up. And I screwed it up so I can bail. That's actually like the best possible way to screw this up. Because what I was trying to do is I would take this chrome ball all the way back to the start. Or all the way back to the start of this underwater area. I would actually bounce across the tops of these pipes on it, off camera, and use that metal ball to break this box here, which has the A, which would have saved me going underwater to get that peach. But because I screwed it up, I had to do that. That's right, having the chrome ball here is actually really nice, because I actually didn't even know you could get both of those with the same ball, so that's good knowledge for a backup strat, I guess. Okay. So again, that banana I grabbed earlier, I'm going to use that to... I could actually, because of that, I could have been like super ballsy and gone back and tried the inconsistent skip, because it would have been faster if I got it like first or second try, but I'm just going to do the normal strat here, because I really do not want to spend like an hour and a half trying to get it. Although it wouldn't take me that long, but it would take me like 5 minutes. So I get this, and then I death abuse, and now and because of that out of bounds clip I did while swimming, I actually end up right back in this big room, way back at the start of the level or the kind of the main area of the level where I want to be. So the inconsistent trick is actually just clipping through that bell door. But since you go so close to the bell in this category, it's just worth it to grab it when you come back so you don't have to do the trick. And then I death abuse here again because it puts me back in the main room. And if I was to backtrack after that switch, the water in this room would rise. But by dying, I can keep it low, and that lets me get another chrome ball from this switch. And then I can take that basically all the way to the end of the level and also not have to swim any of this because I can just run along the bottom of the water. Jump onto that guy. Hello? That was interesting. Okay, I was also clipped into the floor there for a second. That was equally as interesting. Okay. There we go. So I kind of screwed that level up, but not in a catastrophic way, so it's totally fine. I didn't make like the biggest mistake, which is like dying in that area where I accidentally fell in the water. Okay. So again, another boss. This boss is actually easier on the Japanese version. He has only 6 health as opposed to 8. So if you're playing all levels, which is like the intended any percent category, you just you play Japanese as well because that boss is faster and it saves like 30 seconds or something. All right. Now we go into the mansion, final world, and some tricky levels, some actually fairly challenging mazes. The mazes in these levels, particularly this one, are actually quite hard. Because they have, not only do they have hazards, but they add more ghosts. So so this maze will have both hazards and a 5th ghost in my way. And so will the next one. And then the last maze actually has no hazards, but it has 6 ghosts in it that just get in your way and troll you. So I have to hit that button to spawn the bell up here. There's no way around that. I tried to find a skip for this door, it just doesn't exist. Okay, Galaxian is right here. Good cycle on those, and this maze. Alright, so this is probably the hardest maze. This or the next one are harder, but this one's pretty scary. I've already screwed up, so that's good. It went the complete wrong way at the start, so now we're just going to completely improvise the entire thing. Okay, good thing. Okay, Pinky's an idiot, thank you. I was meant to go down at the start, and I would have cleared out that, like, those, like, 3 dots sticking up in the middle. I would have already gotten those. Okay, thank God that missed me. Again, so, like, that fire would normally be hurting me, but because I have the power pellet active, it doesn't do anything. Alright, now we got the strats. We're going to go through the side here and totally fake them out. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I pressed down, but my controller said I pressed left, which I did not. This is not good. Actually, no, this is fine, because the ghosts are nowhere near me. Like, they're way the heck up there. Yes, this is totally fine. So that actually was not a complete disaster, so we're in there. There we go. Okay. So I salvaged that somehow. Yeehaw. Alright. Now back to the main level, which is like the actual hard part. Okay, let's see if I can make this jump. Wow, nice ledge grab. You can make that. You can actually make that without grabbing the ledge. My jump wasn't very good. It's not very long death because... Oh, I actually end up over here. I thought there was a checkpoint before that. Never mind. It's still not that bad because I'm just right here. And I have a bunch of lives because I farmed them early in the game, so it's not that scary. Again, if you game over in this game, you go back to the last point you say. Well, you actually go back to the title screen. And then you can like load a save, but if you've been paying attention, you notice I haven't saved at all, so it would just be over. I would lose everything. Okay, so you don't even need to activate this, and let's see if I can get this strat. What? I disagree. The game is incorrect. I totally got that. That's alright. I'll try again. Okay, that was only mildly terrifying. All right, let's try this again. There we go. That's way more convincing. So you can, there's a little bit of collision on the tree there, and you can just clear that gap. It saves like, I don't know, 10 seconds or something. So like I mentioned with the 10,000 points earlier, this is one level where it's essentially impossible to avoid because you have to get 2 bells, and that's 6,000 points right off the bat. And then you get like another 1,200 from getting all the letters, and then you have to get a bunch of other fruit too, so it's just, it's basically impossible to avoid the extra life here. Actually, speaking of extra lives, I'm going to get this because the cycle up ahead I have to wait on for 100 years. I have to wait on this. There's no way to get this faster. So you have to go down here and go all the way back up. Okay. 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 And there's another extra life actually right here. There's a lot of extra lives in this level, which is good because it's really easy to die here. I think the world record dies like 4 times in this level. Okay. Then we get this guy. And so funny thing I'll point out, that coffin there with the power pellet, that's actually only there on the Japanese version. So you, on the other versions of the game, you can't actually kill those ghosts at the end. You just have to get through there and not die. I guess they just forgot to put that there on the other versions. Okay. Yeah, so there's my extra life. So that little cutscene takes like 3 seconds or something. So if I had less points, I wouldn't get that, which happens in most levels. Okay. It's one of my favorite levels in terms of like the music fitting the atmosphere like absolutely perfectly. It's just kind of dark and spooky. This level also has some really cool strats. Do a trick here called underground skip where I just like fall behind the level. Wait, what? I was in the mountain there. That's never happened. It's an interesting way to fail that. Let's try again. How about I stay inbounds this time? There we go. Okay, I need this thing. I think you can get this from the... Yeah, okay, you can't get that with a bounce on the other versions because the letters are smaller. And then we're just going to use some of these guys to get over here. Not supposed to do this and get in the door. There's a switch on the other side of this room that makes those little, like, circular platforms move back and forth, and that's how you're supposed to do that. Alright, so this maze is totally in the dark-ish. And it's got 5 ghosts. So I'm gonna wait here actually for the fire to wear off before I get this power pellet. Okay, we should be good. So this power pellet will last me until I'm done. Okay, good. Very good, according to the game. Alright. And then we come out of here, we get this. And this chrome ball is nice because it lets me run under these squishy things. Normally they would just crush you. Oh! Okay, that should have killed me. That almost always kills you. Wow, I shouldn't have made that either. That was extremely lucky for like 10 seconds there. Now we climb out. Luckily there's a full health wedge right there. Wait for that to wear off. Okay, get hit by that, who cares? There's another skippable door. This one's really easy. You can just bounce on the top of it and get back here. And bounce on this guy and get out. Okay, so I didn't get out, so I get to do the backup strat, which is just bounce into this corner and clip out. That unfortunately doesn't work the other way. You can't clip in by doing that, but clipping out is what matters because the Japanese version has that fence along the back wall. So you can't just run off and die like on the US version. Here's another good skip, one that I found. Just kind of falling through the wall there. Okay, shoutouts to the 80% record that died on those coffins. Like an idiot, because I zigzagged too hard. I was going too fast and died. It's quite tragic, really. Okay. No, I don't have the bell. I need to actually get it, which is over. Here's how I get it. So I've never figured out a way to make the platforming here not awkward. It's just really, really annoying and slow. I don't know what to do. Okay, now I have no health, so something is going to kill me. Like one of these guys. So I'm just going to kill both of them. Okay. Good. I think I'm going to have 10,000 points here, too. Yeah, I will. It'll be just barely of like 10,100 or something. Yeah, 119 is... Yeah, that's over... Yeah. It's going to be just barely. Yeah. Yeah, 10,090. So I got like one extra thing, or like a few extra... No, I just like ate one extra ghost or something. Alright, last platforming level. Grave Danger. This one's got a couple skips too. First one is not running into a fence. You can fall down here. As opposed to climbing all the way up the mountain, you can just kind of fall halfway around. Okay. Good hitbox, because that enemy was not active and it still hurt me. Okay. So good thing there's... actually, I need that. I use that. This is another door that's quote-unquote skippable. I was looking for skips in this game, and I tried this skip, and the very first time I tried it, I got it, and I never got it again. So I have no idea how it works. I don't have the video anymore, but I must have tried it hundreds of times, just like staring at the video, trying to recreate it exactly as I did it, and I couldn't get it to work, so I've just abandoned it, sadly. Okay, so I get this C in here. Okay, so these clouds, it's very hard to tell where they are on the US version because your shadow doesn't appear over them and the camera doesn't take this angle. The camera keeps the same angle it normally does. So you just die repeatedly because you don't know where these are. And it's really frustrating, but the Japanese version fixed that, thankfully. Let me kill that guy. Interesting. Okay. Get this. Get that. Okay, 1 health, so I'm going to do the maze first to refill my health. So I'm going to use the elevated part of the floor here to skip up here, which you're not supposed to do. The skip is actually extremely easy. Okay, and this is the last maze. This one has 6 ghosts, like I mentioned, but it has no hazards. Which is one of the nice things, but if it had hazards, it would probably be incredibly stupid. So I'm gonna get hit here, but that's fine. I only got hit once, which is good. I do not want to get hit more than once. Okay, this is actually really, really good. These ghosts are in very good spots, and Clyde is an idiot there because he went the wrong way. Okay, this is really good. Okay. 6. 18. Okay. So now I get this really hype message in Japanese that says marathon released, which means I've unlocked marathon mode. That means I didn't miss a maze, so that's good. If I had missed one, that wouldn't have popped up, and I would have had to figure out which one I missed. Which actually isn't that hard, because the level icon would have been silver and not yellow. And so here's another hype message. It's like all letters collected. With an awesome sound. Now I just do this door skip again. I fail the door skip. I do it again. Get up here. There we go. Alright, and then we go across the clouds here. Try not to die. Okay, so here's Miss Pac-Man, and she's got a bunch of hearts because she has been waiting for us and she loves us. Okay. And that's the end of that level. So normally I would exit out of the bonus here because it's faster, but then if I died on the final boss, my run would be invalid. So I'm just gonna die in the bonus run just so that doesn't happen. This isn't world record or anything. Like, world record just passed right now. 119.34 is world record, so. Alright, so this will be like a 121 or something. That's not that bad, actually, seeing as the start was not very good. Okay. So this fight is actually quite different on the Japanese version. First of all, there are no ghosts flying around. And second of all, this power throw only throws 5 dots as opposed to 10, so you have to do it twice as often. That's actually fine. You have to hit him with 31 dots, so the one stray one is totally fine. Okay, that's some really good RNG where he throws no dots. I've never figured out why that happens. It's just stupid. Okay. Fine, where's... I still need one more. And your friends heal you in this fight, so it's like impossible to die unless you just get hit by like 100 times. So that was phase 1. Now phase 2, I bounce on these switches. He gets attracted to the middle of the floor. You hit him. You're not supposed to hit him from the ground like that, but his hitbox is big and low enough that you can. Also, the music in this fight is actually quite good. It's very fitting for the mood. Darn it. Yes, that's how you're supposed to, well, kind of supposed to, how you're supposed to just wait for the stairs. Okay, this is the last hit on this phase, and this is where he will invariably send me flying off the arena and make me do the whole thing again. Okay, he did not, although he tried. So this strat where you hit him before he actually attacks you, I found on a Let's Play, so shoutouts to that. Because none of the other runners did this, and then when they saw me do it, they were like, what the heck? Alright, get ready for time, by the way. We got one more hit. And time. 121, that's not bad. Alright, so now we get to watch this cutscene, which for anyone who has never seen it it's something. It's not quite as good on Japanese because like you can't understand what they're saying, but you get the general gist of it. Yeah, so Pac-Man shows no mercy. Just... That's the end of it. And this should be 100%. Boom, there's 100%. So again, because I didn't have to do marathon mode, I could just fight him right away. If I had to do marathon mode after the last level, I would have just played mazes for 45 minutes and then fought him, which is why Japanese is way better, because you don't have to do that. But yeah, that is... that's 100%. It actually wasn't that bad. That was like 2 minutes off record, and I had like 8 unintentional deaths in the first half of the game, so that's pretty okay. If you want to learn this game, just ask, because I will teach anyone, and not enough people run this game, so run it. All right, which one of these is the credits while we switch over? I think it's this one. Okay, I guessed right. All right, well, did the outtakes get met, or no?
Unfortunately not.
Darn. All right, well, have a gander on YouTube if you want to see those. They're pretty cool. They're just like cutscene bloopers. They're kind of stupid, but they're entertaining in anyways. Yeah, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for having me. And yeah, that's all I got.
Cool. Well, stay tuned, everyone. Thank you for watching the first in-person run of the marathon. Stay tuned for Final Fantasy V.